The following is a presentation of the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.
You are listening to Audio Suplex Live.
So episode 33?
Is that accurate?
I believe so.
Sometimes you make the new image with the wrong number.
I've done that once.
You've done that more than once.
Episode 33, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Audio Suplex Live. At a time where our country is more divided than ever, we're here to unite everybody.
I wore the red, white, and blue today, and I even got my red glasses on. I'm in support of
wrestling,
flags,
and beer,
and Budweiser. They can't see that.
So, speaking of Budweiser, Corey, fantastic evening last night as we celebrated the diaper party of Corey's soon-to-be born daughter.
Yeah.
Good time. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling today, bud?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Is 10 great?
I don't know.
Or is 1 great?
I don't know. It's your
How's
scale.
the scale work?
You tell me.
I don't know.
You make the answers.
I'm feeling good.
You feeling good?
Yeah,
all right.
Surprising.
Yeah, we had a good time last night. It was a good party, good turnout, a lot of cool friends. We played party games.
I drank a bunch of Budweisers.
A ton of Budweiser.
Shorties, barbecue.
Fantastic. The catering was on point. Like, whoever's idea it was to go through Shorties.
They got catering?
Yeah, they got the event was catered by Shorties. Shouts out to Shorties.
We're not bragging. All right, let's stop talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to brag.
No, it was a good time though, man. I just, I like to give the listeners like a little bit of a peek into our own personal lives a little bit. Just a
Why
little
don't you give them a peek into your own personal life?
There's nothing really to peek at. I'm kind of a boring dude. I do this and then I work.
But I do want to say, if Shorty's wants to sponsor us,
yeah, that's the other thing too. I'm trying to segue this into a
delicious
pork-based sponsorship.
pork.
Yeah, we're the pork podcast, if you will, the porkcast.
The pork podcast.
Yeah, so
the pork pods.
Probably the most likely show on our network to actually be sponsored by a barbecue joint. So
pork pods.
Yeah, I like it. So we are here to do a couple of things. Before we get into all that, I want to welcome our guests with us this week. We have from Northwest Ohio Wrestling, JJ Castillo, and Mr. Mike Bump himself, Alex Jordan, sitting here taking it out on the microphone.
Mike,
how you fellas feeling today?
Good, man. Another day.
Ready for some NFL football today?
Oh yeah.
What do you got? Whose jersey you wearing?
Brian Urlacher.
You're a big Urlacher guy.
Brian.
My idol.
Yeah.
Brian Urlacher's a big guy too.
Would you go as far as to say that he's your favorite Bear of all time?
Yes.
Okay. So
who's your second favorite Bear of all time?
Devin Hester.
Who's your favorite Eagle of all time?
McNabb.
Really? Chunky Soup?
Yeah.
Chunky
It's so weird, man, because we lately I did the Ask Anything top 5, and
Yeah.
I hate the Packers.
Yeah.
And one of my cousins was like, who's your top
favorite
5
Packers?
I was like, I might hate them, but I do admire players. So
Right.
I have
There's
a
good
favorite
players on
player
the team,
of
yeah.
every team. I have my choice of
Who's your favorite player on the Jaguars?
Denard Robinson.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's
an easy answer.
A good friend of the show, Sean Paul Trottier, is actually a buddy of mine that's been on the show a number of times.
Was he a friend of the show?
He's a friend of the show. Big Packers fan, but him and I used to spend our football Sundays together talking about okay, well, if you had to buy one jersey from every team in the NFL, what jersey would you buy? Which is essentially the same question. But,
Yeah.
What if it's like an ironic jersey?
I can't think of a single Giants jersey that I would get. Maybe
Eli Manning.
no, Christ no.
I wouldn't either.
Maybe
Tiki Barber.
I think I ended up saying Sims.
Phil Sims.
Phil Sims would have been the one
Yeah.
that I would have gotten if you put a gun to my head and said, "Hey, you have to buy a Giants jersey." Like I can tell you Cowboys players all day that I would buy a jersey
I
for.
would.
Like
I hate the
Jason
Cowboys.
Witten, I would buy a Tony Romo. I would buy an Aikman.
Romo.
I don't care. But they're the Giants to me are just like that one team where I'm just like, I can't do it. I just can't.
I have
Yeah.
an RG3 jersey, if that helps.
A lot of people have one of
You
those.
can get rid of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can find that at your local Savers, ladies and gentlemen.
I've got an Ocho Cinco jersey.
Joe does have an Ocho Cinco jersey. I was here when he bought it, actually. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Good times, man. I still need to get my next one that I'm planning on is get the Black Brian Dawkins jersey. Classic.
I got a Namdi at home.
So do I, actually.
It's the old Raiders one, and like the old silver and black throwback. Yeah, that's it.
I'm that Eagles fan that as soon as we signed Nnamdi Asomugha, I went immediately to the store because I was actually in Philadelphia at the time. Went immediately to the Sports Authority store and bought a Nnamdi Asomugha jersey. I have many regrets in my life.
Have you ever bought wrestling merch?
I have.
This is a wrestling show. We should probably
I
mention maybe
have.
wrestling things that we've bought.
Yeah, what's the most recent wrestling? Did you buy one when I sent you that link the
No,
other
I
day
looked
to
at I looked at the new shirts and none of them were really that great.
Thought about grabbing
Elias is maybe the
I
one.
like that one a lot. Have you guys seen that one
Yeah.
yet? Looks like a tour shirt. Yeah, I was thinking that or the Johnny Wrestling.
See, I'm not a Gargano fan. I'm
Yeah.
more of a Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa.
It's terrible because I go to the local stores. I'm like, all right, I want to get this shirt. They don't have my size, so I had to order offline. I never have time to sit down. Like, well, I want this, and then I look at my wife and she goes,
Nope. Just vetoes it all. All right, so we are here with one express purpose this week, Corey, and it is to break down the entirety of the 2017 No Mercy pay-per-view card. Before we get into that, we're going to talk not like a really proper news section. We'll still do like a little news drop here, Joe, if you could.
It's the news.
Nice.
I knew Joe was going to cut to the image of me right when I was supposed to say it, so I didn't say it.
You have fantastic comedic timing. I love it. It's one of your many, 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 many traits.
Many.
Many traits. So the
How many?
Many. At least
How kind of you.
At least 3.
Thank
You
you.
have 3 redeeming traits, that being one of them.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about this week is the mass exodus of talent from What Culture Wrestling's both website with their writing and the YouTube channel. A lot of pretty much all of the big names from the channel have
Pretty
left.
much everyone that had their own show on the wrestling channel.
Yeah, Adam Blampier, Adam Pacitti, King Ross, Jack the Jobber, Sam, the whole lot of them just up and left out of nowhere the other day. And then Adam Blampier later on tweeted out a cryptic logo for what can only be assumed is going to be a new endeavor that this group of people exiting What Culture is going to be undertaking. Do you guys pay attention to any of the What Culture videos? Or
I do and don't.
Oh, they're great.
they're fantastic.
They were.
And I saw like a lot of like on like Reddit and stuff like that. There was a lot of outpouring of people saying like, "Hey, these videos helped get me back into wrestling in like 2016, 2017, like really when they like started to take off." So it's kind of interesting, man. Like the whole landscape of I think like the wrestling YouTube community is kind of changing a little bit. I don't know, man. What do you think about it, Corey?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the What Culture Wrestling channel. That's like one of the reasons why I'm really glad we have this show. It's a similar outlet. They are definitely, they're probably got to be the most popular wrestling
Oh, hands down,
channel
they
on
have
YouTube. They even have
over
their
a
own,
million subscriptions on it.
they have their own wrestling company now,
Yeah.
which I don't know how that's going to be affected by the leaving of these gentlemen.
There was a lot of I know like a lot of the stars for WCPW tweeted out basically saying like, hey, it was a good run, you know, that kind of stuff, kind of implying that the exodus of those guys would obviously start to signify the downfall of WCPW, which is crazy because like
they don't have anybody else to take over those jobs. I mean, I'm sure those guys were all
when in history has like
pretty important.
I mean, What Culture really kind of like set a precedent for a lot of things. Like, one, they rose out of nowhere to become like the biggest YouTube channel in professional wrestling, and then 2, use that momentum to open up their own indie that became like probably one of the top 10 indies in the world, and then just disappears off the map out of nowhere. Like, it's kind of insane. Like, I don't think that's crazy to say that WCPW was like a more noted
Indie company.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely watched their videos.
Yeah. So interesting. It's going to be, I'm really, 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 really kind of interested to see what this new project of theirs is.
Yeah, well, did you see their logo? It's like
little 5 with the C
the
in
C
it.
around it with the 5 in the middle.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that it means cultaholics, but I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Right. Well, I guess only
Somebody
time will
said
tell.
that they filed for copyright on that name or something.
Well, it's interesting too because like a lot of like the What Culture staff, they started out as more of just like a general pop culture
Right.
thing because like
List
What Culture,
videos.
yeah, they have like, a lot of list
Top
videos,
10s.
top tens and stuff like that, and like you still go back and you can watch like top 10 movie things with like Adam, Pacitti or Adam Blampier on like doing the narration on those.
Right.
So like, are they going to go to more of like a pop culture thing with this new endeavor and then also still do the wrestling, or is this going to be like a strictly wrestling only endeavor? I don't know. It's kinda
They seem like
interesting
these guys are all big wrestling fans. All the ones that left,
Yeah.
were all the
The
core
big
group of
wrestling-
wrestling fans. So
Right,
they were the
right.
ones running the wrestling channel, whereas different group of guys were doing the gaming channel and they had the comics channel.
Right.
So
Interesting. So, also did want to mention that WWE did formally announce that they will be resurrecting the long fabled Starcade
never heard of it.
name. Corey and his never-ending quest to bury everything
Is it a
WCW
space
related.
themed?
Yes, the whole
pay-per-view?
theme. Yes,
That
have you never
sounds
watched the
terrible.
Starcade?
No, I've never.
No,
watched
the whole
Starcade.
theme of Starcade was that everybody came out in like NASA, like astronaut costumes.
They
and stuff
removed
like
all
that.
of the oxygen from
Yes,
the arena.
all the oxygen
and
from
they
the
put
arena.
people in
Yes.
spacesuits.
Yes. No, Starcade
Low
was
gravity.
obviously noted for being the NWA and WCW's premier show, much akin to like how WrestleMania is like the big marquee show for WWE.
Like a Bound for Glory.
Yeah, essentially, but a lot better at times, and also sometimes a little bit for the worse.
Is that TNA's WrestleMania Bound for Glory?
I thought it was Slammiversary.
No, I think Bound for Glory is their big one, but that's
hard to tell.
That's probably
How
up for
many do
debate.
they have? They only have like
What's
4.
what's a big pay per view when only 10,000 people are watching it? Like,
Oh.
sorry.
You gotta have those year-long builds, though. You know,
Yeah, man,
they gotta
I
have a
guess.
payoff somewhere.
Yeah, like Starcade, probably the most notable Starcade of all the events was, in my opinion, Starcade 1997, which saw like the culmination of like a year-long storyline with Sting kind of embracing the darker character. It was the first actual in-ring appearance of Crow Sting challenging Hulk Hogan for the title. Super huge. Like I remember, like as a kid, I was like 11 or 12 when that pay-per-view hit, and I was like white knuckle, like I am enthralled, like I'm thrilled for this. Like that was like the first like hype moment as a wrestling fan for me. And yeah, it was just, Starcade to me, like growing up, was like a super important thing as a WCW fan. Like it was the WrestleMania of WCW, but now to see it kind of like resurrected as what appears to be kind of like a glorified house show. They haven't officially said whether or not, unless I'm mistaken, they haven't officially said whether or not it's going to be a network special or not, which I think would be absolutely asinine to not air it as a network special. Kind of like
Well, the rumor is they're just trying to get butts in the seats. They don't feel like they're going to be able to sell very many tickets. So
I guess, man.
by saying, "Hey, this is where the original Starcade happened. Remember that, you old fans.
Yeah.
Come check it out."
Yeah, they have a couple cage matches though, which is really cool because it kind of plays into the whole narrative of it being a spiritual successor to the old NWA Starcade events where Ric Flair would defend or challenge. I can't remember if he defended or challenged for the title in a steel cage, or what event it was. It's skipping me right now.
That's probably because it doesn't matter.
Right. Well, yeah, but I think it's cool, man. I like it. I think it's. I would like to see this become a success because I think, in the grand history of things, people always say that the winners get to write the history books. And with that, you see like a very pro WWE slant to a lot of what's on WWE programming, like especially like around the time of like the invasion and stuff like that. A lot of it was like very anti, like, oh, WCW was really bad, they went out of business, this, that, and the other thing. But I think a lot of things that are popular in WWE today can be attributed directly to WCW, and I think paying homage to them, through using some of like the event names. Like I would personally like. First and foremost, like
Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, if we got rid of like No Mercy, bumped it back a couple months, and like bumped it back a month and made it like Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would be happier than a pig in slop. Are you kidding me? Like,
wasn't it the Great American Bash?
Yeah, Great American
we
Bash
had that
was
for a while.
Yeah,
back when Muhammad Hassan and Undertaker.
And you mean to tell me that you guys wouldn't sit down and plunk down your $9.99 a month, or in my case, Corey's $9.99 a month for a fall brawl?
Right.
Oh my God. A War
what
Games?
was the Champions one last year?
Clash of Champions?
Clash of Champions.
Yeah, that's also a
WCW
WCW one. Yeah, so
they changed Night of Champions to Clash of Champions.
I mean, they have so many good things under the WCW brand that you could bring back and, obviously polish it up a little bit and make it, in the WWE thing, but they've proven that they can do something good with another brand before. Like the inaugural ECW One Night Stand is a prime example of WWE letting their hair down and saying, like, you know what, we're going to let them do it the way that they would have done it. And like a Starrcade would be a perfect event to do that.
Give it back Tony Schiavone for one night.
Oh my God! If they
Did you see the Young Bucks said they were going to come and they got the day off?
Hey man.
They're like, oh well, we probably work, and they're like, oh, you should come. They're like, and then they tweeted out like, oh, we got that day off,
dude. If and there was a lot of rumors about because obviously Starrcade was a creation of Dusty Rhodes,
right?
So there was a lot of talk between
Cody Rhodes
talking about
Goldust,
talking about teaming up with
the Hardys,
throw the Bucks in there too. Oh my God, the internet would explode.
But he just signed a
long-term deal with ROH. He's going to be multi-year ROH exclusive in the U.S. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Super crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I personally would like to see more of this. I would love to see Starrcade as a network special. I just feel like the demand is there. Like, you saw it. Like, as soon as they announced it, everybody's clamoring, like, yo, make it a network special. Bring back Tony Schiavone. Like,
what if, Ring of Honor, let's say Cody Rhodes and Young Bucks, they have contracts, whatever. They're not allowed to be on WWE TV and vice versa type deal.
Right.
What if the thing about this Starrcade is it's purposely not on the network? Like, you have to get tickets to go to this show
so that you could
see the Hardys versus Goldust and Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, because we're not allowed to broadcast it on the air because of who's in the ring. Dude, you would pack that place stacked
instantly.
All those huge wrestling fans that live within, even a couple hours are going to want to go.
If that were the announcement, I would be looking at tickets right now.
Yeah.
Like, and seeing if
that's
I could
feasibly
make my way down there for it. Like, that's an event.
Like, I always gave it the thought that, they work for New Japan too, and New Japan and WWE have this working relationship as well.
Right.
So what if it happened all in Japan?
Dude,
like, under New Japan's televised,
Stop. You guys are blowing my mind right now.
It would be awesome.
So the last little bit of news that I want to talk about before we jump headfirst into the No Mercy card is the unfortunate and untimely passing of one of wrestling's greatest characters and wrestling's greatest personalities of all time. Of course, we're talking about Bobby the Brain Heenan. Immediately after the news broke of Bobby's passing, got on Facebook and seeing an outpouring of love and respect and memories from fans and both amongst our friends and stuff like that and people that we know and worldwide. So, JJ, I know you've got a couple thoughts about Bobby the Brain Heenan. I know we kind of Facebooked back and forth a little bit about some of our favorite moments with him. What are some of your favorite Bobby the Brain moments of all time?
The couple that just come to mind when you think of Bobby the Brain Heenan is when Shawn Michaels threw Jannetty through that barbershop. He's trying to escape like a coward. Oh, that was phenomenal.
Act of cowardice.
Yeah. And the WCW versus NWO.
Yep.
That very first time Hogan turned.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can go back and listen to the commentary. You don't even have to see the video, and you know what, illustration art.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Easy.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was a lot of I've heard criticism for that line before. We've even talked about it on this show before about the whole, whose side is he on line. Regardless if you think it gave away the turn or anything like that, it's still one of those iconic lines in wrestling commentary history that just sticks with you, as a fan. Going back to the Bash at the Beach '96, when you hear that, you're like, wow, that's crazy. The fact that they took Hogan and turned him heel, and I think Bobby, regardless of how you feel about that line specifically, did a great job on commentary that night. I immediately went back and watched the 92 Royal Rumble because that was the height of Monsoon Heenan and Bobby Heenan pulling for unabashedly rooting for Ric Flair through the entirety of the 92 Royal Rumble. Oh my God. So an absolute legend. Corey, do you have any moments or thoughts on Bobby the Brain Heenan that you'd like to share with us?
Sorry, I'm not prepared.
That's fair. Kind of put you on the spot there.
I don't want to waste time thinking.
Mr. Alex Jordan, any thoughts or anything before we move on to the official No Mercy card?
He covered mine with the Hogan turn. That was one of my favorite moments of all time.
So yeah, much respect and love. Nothing but condolences to the Heenan family and everything like that, and everybody who loved Bobby the Brain Heenan. So an absolute legend of the wrestling industry. So without any further ado, Corey,
what?
Are you ready to break down WWE No Mercy?
I'm more than ready.
2017.
I'm more than ready. Let's get straight into our pre-show. Who saw this coming? Apollo Crews versus Elias Sampson.
I was looking at the announced matches this morning to kind of like brush up a little bit before we came into the studio. And I don't know when they formally announced this match.
This was not announced as of like yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, this is okay. You know, it's a good way to get both those guys onto the pre-show and get them a little bit more exposure there.
I think it's just an excuse for Elias sing a song about L.A.
Yeah, I think it's also an excuse to put Elias Sampson over and just
he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what beating Apollo Crews is going to do for your career, but
I mean, a win is a win. It still makes him look good on television.
this is pay-per-view.
You know what I mean, though. Like, you know, for him to be on the pre-show and picking up a win, it doesn't matter if it's over Apollo Crews or anybody. He's still getting TV time. So, and he's looking good in the process. So
He's beating the Titus brand. That's
also,
important.
Also true.
Yeah,
That
what
could,
happened to them? They haven't been on TV in a couple weeks.
that could parlay into more of a storyline, maybe, if they wanted to expunge upon that and have him kind of like embroiled in a feud with the Titus brand. Then he can go up against Apollo Crews. He can go up against Akira Tozawa. He can go up against Titus himself. Yeah. So,
Or Elias will join the Titus brand.
Oh, worldwide.
I don't know. I don't think he's ready to sell out like that, man. He's still got the independent spirit, you know. Him and his just a man with his acoustic guitar walking up and down the railroad tracks. He's not ready to sign with a brand.
So then we all agree Elias Sampson is
Yeah.
going
I
to
think
win.
you'd be silly.
Handily.
Handily.
How long do you think this match is going to go? Plus or minus 5 minutes.
How long's the
Plus 5. about
plus 5?
8,
The
10.
actual match.
Yeah,
8,
plus
10.
5. Yeah, 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think his song's going to be longer than the match.
You're a fool,
Okay.
but you're allowed to think that.
We'll
way.
see.
That's fine.
We'll see. What's match? First match of the card.
Main
Let's
card.
do Dean and Seth are tag team champions on Raw, taking on the Bar.
I love that you just call them Dean and Seth. You know, just Dean and Seth, a bunch of rascally rapscallions that they are. Yeah, it's all right, man.
Colby and John.
Oh, here we go.
Colby Lopez and John Good.
Did I ever tell you how much I hate this attitude amongst like quote unquote smart wrestling fans to like use people's real names or like their indie names when they're in WWE? It's silly.
I called him Dean and
Like,
Seth, and he gave me shit.
There was somebody I was talking to who refused to call Aleister Black. They're like, no,
Tommy End.
that's
for
Tommy
life.
End. Like, no. He works for WWE now, and his character is named Aleister Black. So you just go with that and shut up. Nobody cares that you watched him in Progress or whatever.
I'm the biggest Tommy End mark out here, and
Yeah.
I still refer to him as Aleister Black because he's under WWE contract.
Yeah.
When he goes back, if he goes back to the Indies, I will call him Tommy End.
Or
but-
whatever name he decides
Yeah.
to go by.
He created that character and picked that name.
I
Yeah.
think something that sometimes people lose is that like they're a character, like they're portraying a character, and for you to like think that you're smart and in the know because you're referring to them as a previously known character. That's not even his real name. If you were really smart, you would call him by his actual government name, but that's not the case here. Like, I get that he's got like work before. That would be like calling like John Travolta by the name of a character that he played in a different movie years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Name one.
Dan
name one?
Zuko.
yeah, there you go. That's the one I was going to go with. Alex said it before I could. So, what are you going to do?
I love Grease.
It's a great movie.
Vic Vega is what I would have picked.
I was trying to think of his name from Battlefield Earth. I can't remember what it was.
Alien guy.
Alien dude, you know, Worf, if you will. That got the that got the producer pop right there. That's all I was shooting for. Yeah, so that's my little mini rant on that. This is the only. I'm gonna kind of show my hand a little bit here, guys. I think this is the only title
No.
change I could feasibly see happening.
way.
What?
They
Only
just got the belts from them.
And
you got-
Sheamus and Cesaro just got a T-shirt. So
And
Seth
I
and
think-
Dean have
I'm
new
gonna go with-
T-shirts too. So what do you?
I'm going to go retain.
you go and retain.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
I'm
not
going
saying I'm not
retain.
saying for sure that's going to happen. I'm just saying that WWE, in my opinion, the way that they're booking Sheamus and Cesaro are still pretty firmly into the idea
I
of
think
them
we're ready
being
for a
team.
split.
No,
Yeah, especially since somebody's making a movie.
Mm-hmm.
wait, they're doing another Ninja Turtles. Why? What a terrible idea! Unbelievable.
I think
Um,
we're gonna see the beginning of the end for the Bar.
You're gonna go with that as opposed to
saying they
the
got a new
team-
T-shirt doesn't mean shit.
They
got the KO with the American flag. He won the belt for like a day.
He still has the shirt.
They had AJ and Y2J.
Yeah, the
They did
Y2
make that
AJ shirts.
If
They
you're-
were a team for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this episode and you have a AJ Y2J shirt,
Y2
AJ shirt, I want you to send a picture of you wearing it to the show because that's going to become the thumbnail for every episode henceforth. That's such a good idea.
Don't promise that because that's if someone does that, I don't want that to be the image every week.
Yeah, well,
We'll have a special episode.
Yeah.
I'm going with retaining for the Seth and Dean duo.
I'm not saying it's like a given that they're gonna like drop the belts. I think it would make the storyline a bit more interesting because other than Sheamus and Cesaro, who else in the tag division on Raw is a credible threat to
The Revival should be coming back before the next pay-per-view. You have Gallows and Anderson.
That need. They need like.
I hate to break it to you, boys. They're not going to get in that title picture anytime soon. I love Gallows and Anderson as much as the next person, but that's not where WWE wants them.
Where does WWE want them?
I don't know.
They're saying calling everyone nerds. That's getting super over with the crowd.
Yeah. Well,
They're chanting it.
maybe if the crowd wasn't a bunch of nerds.
I'm just saying, why not give them a shot?
I'm just
Even
sa-
if they don't win the belts, at least put them in a program for the next pay-per-view.
They've been having solid matches though.
They really have.
Yeah.
No, they've been doing their job,
and they haven't
properly.
they haven't had any sort of push really.
I'm still gonna stick. This is a tough one to pick.
Because what happens if the Bar wins? Who are they going to feud with? What babyface team? The Hardys again?
Sure.
They already did that.
Yeah, it's kind of whack.
And then there's no other teams. So
Oh, you're doing that thing again.
I'm convincing you to change your answer to the correct answer.
You're doing that thing again where you like make a very valid point and I end up changing my mind. I'll agree with you because I think you are right. I think that if Sheamus and Cesaro do win, you don't really have anything there. And
Unless you're recycling stuff you've already done 100 times.
I'm just being a homer, man. I'm really high on Sheamus and Cesaro.
So then pick them.
No.
Do it.
Nope.
I want to win the picks this
Nope.
week. Do it.
Nope. Nobody's writing these down.
Now
by
I
the
hope
way.
the
I have
Bar
to go
wins.
back and
It
listen
does.
to
We're
this.
all going to pick the same
Well, we
pick
can
on
just-
every
There's only
single
like
match.
There's like 8 matches.
We're literally going to pick the same on every
and
match.
we can rewatch
All right.
this on
Match number 3.
YouTube.
Finn Balor. I think that's how you say it.
Demon Kang, if you will.
Demon Kang
Demon Kang.
against Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Down in the Bayou is a Bayou hardcore match.
It is actually the second ever House of Horrors match.
It's not. It's what this is man versus man. So Demon King will not be there.
Yeah, they're
It
really
is
scraping the bottom of the barrel to get people interested in this feud.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, from your guys' point of view, what else can they do with this to keep this interesting?
This should have been done a
Men.
month ago.
Stop.
Well, I heard
Yeah.
I heard that this was not supposed to continue for another month, but Samoa Joe got injured and he was supposed to go into a program
With Finn.
with Finn Balor. Yeah, so
Which would make sense because those two actually had probably my
it
favorite
would have been.
feud.
Can you imagine
NXT.
if it was Finn versus Joe on the No Mercy card with the Cena Reigns match and the Lesnar Strowman match?
The only downside of that is then what's Bray doing?
Bray doing.
Who cares?
same thing he's been
They
doing
take
the
him off
last
TV.
year.
Take him off TV for like 3 months, 2 months.
I've done a lot of hard things in my life, guys, but being a Bray Wyatt fan might be one of the hardest things I've ever had to endure.
I'm not.
I say write him off and have him come
It's-
back after a couple vignettes of like, ooh, what's gonna happen?
Who's next on his list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and just have him do back the creepy thing and actually book him to win. The new Wyatt.
Yeah, you could have Braun go over and then Bray.
Boop, boop,
I
boop.
brought you here.
What do you think, Braun? What? You are ready. I knew you were the chosen one
Does
to
Bray
conquer the beast.
Am I crazy
Oh,
to
man.
think that Bray gets his win back here?
Yes, you're crazy to think that Bray would get a win at all in this match.
Yeah, but you know what else was crazy? Saying that Finn Balor was going to win the number 1 contendership in his first night on Raw.
That's true.
I'm saying, like,
Uh-huh.
it's not outside of the realm of possibility.
You know,
Okay, well, you're saying I believe that Finn Balor could do that because he's a good wrestler.
And you're saying that Bray isn't?
He is a
November
good wrestler.
Survivor Series, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Bray.
Yeah.
insane.
I think it's going to be an because here's what's
because of a storyline.
Here's what's going to end up happening. Those two are going to be on the same team for Survivor Series, and that is going to cause
That just hit me.
again.
So
yeah.
it'll happen.
And then Finn Balor is going to become a member of the new Wyatt family.
Oh, stop.
With a new Bullet Club. The Bullet Wyatts.
The Bullet family.
the Bullet family.
The family club.
The family club.
Yeah, let's jump on that.
Gallows and
before it gets taken.
Anderson.
Coming soon to an NOW
dude,
show, The
just think-
Family Club.
Listen to the roster of the family club. You got Bray,
Yeah.
Finn,
Stop.
Strowman,
Stop.
Gallows, and Anderson.
Oh my
AJ gets traded to Raw. We're talking the most powerful.
They signed
stable.
Kenny Omega. They
Wyatt's the leader, and he's the weakest guy on the team.
And then the greatest era comes up.
oh
The
my
greatest era, yes. Oh Jesus, we're just. If only we could book all of our favorite wrestlers into one group.
God. They
it would be,
really, real quick with the Undisputed Era, not to correct you by the way, but they really missed a golden opportunity with that to call them CFO. Because it's Cole Fish O'Reilly.
That's their
what
logo
it
is
says on the
CFO.
show, on the shirt. It says CFO. Like, why would you not call them CFO? Like, that is such a good name. That not a great name, but it is such a better name for a stable than the Undisputed Era. Which Undisputed Era says nothing to me about who you are as a character. Like, at New World Order was the new world order of professional wrestling, brother. Like, it fit the stable and what it initially stood for. The Undisputed Era, like,
when I hear Undisputed Era, I think Brock Lesnar and Hulk Hogan
That's
with that
what- yes!
Undisputed Heavyweight Champion.
I think of
That's
Chris-
the Undisputed Era in my head.
Is that
I
what
think of
they're
Chris Jericho
officially-
holding up 2 belts when I think Undisputed Era.
Undisputed
Is that what they're
Era.
officially going with? Is
Undisputed
Yeah,
Era.
that's what
I
they
haven't
call
watched
them.
NXT in like a month.
It's rough.
That's what they got a shirt out and it says the Undisputed Era.
Oh,
and
man.
it's
Adam Cole, come back to us.
baby.
Anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to favor Fortune's the Bold Man. I'm going to take Bray on this one. I think it's about time he, A, gets his win back, and B, I think that sets up for more interesting and intriguing stories going into Survivor Series than having Finn.
What do you think is going to happen at Survivor Series?
I
What's
don't know.
the match?
I don't know. I just really want to see
Why
Bray
do you
get a
think
win.
Finn and Bray are going to be on the same team at Survivor Series?
Because, one, WWE loves to use Survivor Series as the narrative of, like, can this team coexist? I know there's a lot of dissension amongst the team on Raw.
Plus a title shot. What if Finn wins? He got a title shot.
Yeah. And that sets up for Finn going into, like, Royal Rumble or something like that as the number 1 contender for Braun Strowman's Universal Championship.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So we got a Bray.
Finn.
You guys realize
A
how
Finn and a Finn.
You guys realize how foolish it is to endeavor to try to predict these things, because we don't truly know what's
do.
going to happen. Do you?
I do truly know
Pro-
that Finn is going
That's
to
why you wear
win.
the sunglasses, so that people can't see your third eye that's looking into the future.
Illuminati.
When am I getting a contract?
Got to win that big one first, man. Got to get that NOW strap around the waist.
I'm working on it.
Which, have you know that Team Audio Suplex Live is firmly in the Alex Jordan camp.
Good.
Yeah, well, you have fans, man. If you ever want to become a Audio Suplex Live
guy,
you know, we know the people to talk to.
Kind of thought I already was, but
Well, we're talking like you wear our shirt to the ring kind of guy.
Yeah, we're talking.
That's the kind of guy.
We're talking about
You're a
getting that.
sponsored
We'll
athlete.
wear, we'll wear your shirt
we
on
can
our
run
show.
with that.
Let's take this under the treetops right now. Let's close the kimono
Oh
up a
yeah,
little bit.
sorry,
and
we're
we'll talk
talking about
this.
No Mercy.
We could be the traveling Audio Suplex Live endeavors.
Good Lord, I'm all for it. All right.
2 Finns, 2 Brays. Let's talk about Enzo versus Neville.
Do we have to?
Not on the pre-show,
I don't want
apparently.
to.
Not on the pre-show. First time Cruiserweight title has ever been on the main card, I'm pretty sure.
No, it was on the main card for the Royal Rumble when Neville won the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm just
don't-
saying.
I don't want to talk Enzo anything, so I will sit on
Can
this
we
one.
can we talk about that real quick though? Because look at this. So for the last however many pay-per-views that the Cruiserweight title has been around, it's been on the pre-show. The first and only time that it gets to the main roster, to the main show, the main card, is when Enzo Amore is involved in the match, which says
What do you think? Because the fans know who he is more so than any other guy.
100%.
He's a
Why do you
draw.
think he's on 205 Live? It's to increase viewership of 205 Live. If you're watching Raw and you see the guy who does the this thing, you know, every week that you like and that you buy the T-shirts for it, Hot Topic, whatever, and you
But
see
I don't
him,
buy those shirts.
and you see, well, you don't,
I
but for
don't
every one Corey that doesn't, there's 10 people in that crowd that do.
Yeah.
And when they see that and they see him going, oh, you can catch me on a 205 Alive. And then that person who never tuned into 205
Enzo
Live.
Mario? Is that who that is?
Yes, it's me, Enzo Amore. That person who doesn't watch 205 Live is now going to tune into 205 Live because, hey, I like that dude. He's funny looking. You know.
Can you imagine if they had Rey Mysterio on 205 Live?
I think you need to. You're gonna drown with that ship, my friend. You are. It's never gonna happen.
That's why I said, can you imagine? Jesus.
You've been like campaigning for that since.
Because it would be the smartest move on 205
I don't know.
Live.
I like the fact that they have their own. Like,
what if
homegrown
Kenny
talent.
Omega came over and joined 205 Live?
I would cancel your network subscription for you.
You wouldn't want to watch it then?
No. That'd be like trying to build a sandcastle with a
Come on, give me a good analogy.
with like a
Everyone's
bulldozer.
watching.
It's like what like you're using like the wrong thing for the wrong tool for the wrong job. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
I'm sorry, man, but
All right. Does anyone think Enzo's going to win this match?
I don't want to, but as we were talking right before we went on the air, I think it is completely within the realm of possibility.
Do you think Enzo's going to win this match? Yes or no?
Why are you doing this to me? Oh, this sucks so bad.
I think Neville's going to win. I don't have to think about it.
My heart says Neville, but my brain says
What does your mouth
my
say?
brain even says Neville.
What does your mouth say?
Ring a ding 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 ding.
What's your
ding.
money say? Put your money where your mouth is. Say,
Put me down for Neville.
whoa. That's right. You going, Enzo, aren't you?
This is the hardest match on the card to
It
predict.
is.
No, it's not.
Like- Who would be next for Neville?
Who cares?
It
Cedric
should
Alexander.
be Cedric Alexander. I do
He
think
should
that
be
they.
holding the title now.
I do no. I think his
Him and
chase.
Beast.
His chase is the kind of chase that you want it to be a slow burning. His chase started the second the crowd at Full Sail chanted, "Please sign Cedric."
so like
That's when
my chase.
Yeah, his chase started forever ago. Ty's score is 0-0 Eagles after the first quarter. By the way,
Is it?
Yeah, we have an Eagles fan and a New York Giants fan in the studio this week. So
and a Jacksonville.
And Bears.
yeah, so
I'll go Neville.
A whole Neville level.
I do think that Cedric Alexander does need to be the next man up, but I think his character and his story is best suited to constantly coming up short, and then when he finally does get that big one, it's gonna be huge. If they start building him as the number one contender, say around Royal Rumble, then put it on the main card at WrestleMania. Cedric Alexander beats Neville. It'll be probably one of the biggest pops. It'll be like that Zack Ryder winning the IC title pop if they do it properly.
Yeah.
I think that
like
needs
that.
to build that out a little bit further. Build it out. And just don't let Enzo Amore anywhere near the title. I want him jobbing to Grand Metalik on a weekly basis. Run it.
Yikes.
I'm just saying.
Alex, did you say Neville was one end or did you say Enzo?
I'm taking Neville simply
That's-
because I think that just putting Enzo and Neville in a feud is going to get more viewers for 205 Live. Neville retains strongly.
They can continue the feud if they need to. but-
No.
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 Cedric would be
Aggressive.
great. All right, so that's everybody said Neville. So really, not a lot of dissension on this card at all. This one I think is a little bit harder,
Yep.
maybe because there's a lot of choices. We have Bliss defending her Raw Women's Championship against Bayley, Sasha Banks, Nia Jackson, Emma Watson.
I'm sorry. Did you say Emma Watson?
It's Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
I don't know Emma's last
did,
name,
Did
so.
you say choices?
Yeah,
Do you like Alexa? Yep.
Yes.
Do you like others? Nope.
Yeah.
is that? From,
That's Choices by E40.
oh, I do.
It's yup.
I know that. It's yep, nope.
I
yep,
actually
nope.
sent my last Sunday. I sent my roommate a snap of me trying to pick what Eagles jersey I was going to wear for the day, and I had Jeremy Maclin and Nnamdi Asomugha. Do you like Jeremy Maclin? Yep. You like Nnamdi Asomugha?
Nope.
It's good. Classic.
Well, I guess
anyway.
you had to be there.
Yeah. If you want to follow me on Snapchat, don't. You're. I know.
I'm going with Alexa Bliss to retain. I think she's going to be. Why have someone win the belt when Asuka's just going to come and take it in a month?
I had a conversation with one JJ Castillo this past Monday night about this match. He seemed to have some interesting thoughts, so I'm going to go ahead and defer to you on this one because I think you've got some interesting thoughts on this one. For
For Monday Night Raw, like I I've paid attention to this for a while because it's one of my wife's favorite segments is the girls.
Mine too.
But here's my sleeper for this, and it's gonna be Emma taking the title.
Wow.
That's my sleeper. Now,
That'll put people to sleep for sure.
it will.
That'll put butts in the seats.
The last 3 prediction shows, my sleepers came true.
Oh my god.
So we'll go 4-4-4. Say Emma takes the strap. Nia Jax hits Bailey with something.
It is not a strap. It is a championship title.
Championship
Title.
And Emma.
Not on this show. They're called straps.
First off, it's not a belt.
or belts.
Emma takes
There's
it
some over
from. Yeah.
Those are championship titles.
Yeah.
Championship title. Emma
The
pins
European.
Bailey
Is that
for
the
it.
NXT?
Oh, dude, hold on.
Give me my European belt.
And the is that the UK too?
Well, no, UK.
Well, now that we're just doing this, we have the Intercontinental title here in the studio.
Hand 'em out.
Got the NXT.
I want my European belt.
Pass them around.
This
Here
is
we
the future.
Everybody
here,
gets.
so.
You want the world tag? You
European.
said, Joe. You can have the tag belt. There we
I'll
go.
take the IC title.
That's the one I want.
European title.
This is a rare one.
Actually, you can be 2-time IC title
Ooh,
champion.
look at that. That's the old
So-
daddy.
Beat Patterson.
Actually, let's go for 3. Let's just
So
go
who's
for
the
broke.
tag champ?
3 IC champions.
Hey guys, look, I'm IndyCar Mafia.
Jesus God. All right.
Brutal. All I
Okay.
do is hold one belt and everyone else.
All out here
makes me
look
look bad.
out here looking like Ultimate Dragon in this bitch. All right, let's go. Let's go. Speaking of belts, championship titles. My God, look at this.
I'm gonna go Emma.
Ladies,
insane.
ladies. Let's see.
All right, we got one for Emma. What are you thinking, Alex Jordan?
I'm going Alexa because anyone else will be blissed off. So
Whoa.
Heyo.
I'm also going with Alexa for the same reason.
I'm just looking up and down this list because I completely agree with you that I think whoever ends up winning this is going to be the one who gets murdered by Asuka. You know what?
Nia Jax.
Give me Nia Jax.
That would make
What
Asuka
would
look
be
pretty.
what would be a
BA.
bigger way to make Nia or make Asuka look like the
Yeah,
undisputed-
beating Alexa Bliss doesn't really say much.
No, if you put the belt on Nia Jax here and then Asuka comes up and destroys Nia on her first night on the job, my God.
Or what if Bailey wins and you want to get Asuka as like a super mega heel? She destroys Bailey.
So you're going to turn her heel by having her murder the one person in this match that no fan can seemingly get behind.
But
Okay,
You
have
also have
Sasha
to-
Banks win.
out of that list, who is Asuka already beat?
Yes.
Bailey.
Bailey,
And-
Jax,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jax.
and Emma,
She hasn't beat Banks.
or Bliss because they weren't.
They
there
weren't.
at
They
the
never
same
crossed
time.
paths, really.
Exactly.
I
So-
just, I feel like
I think a Banks victory for Asuka would be huge.
it would be super huge.
I think Nia Jax, although just because of her size, it would be huge, but she doesn't really have a very good win-loss lately.
Right. I just think Nia Jax would be like a super good way to introduce.
I agree.
or
He's
what
doing
if-
what I normally do.
What if they don't build Asuka the way that they did in NXT?
That's
It's not
also
the first time they've done that.
that's completely
Well,
inside
I
the
think
realm
they're
of
still going to bring up
possibilities.
her 500 and whatever undefeated streak or whatever she
Even
has.
Goldberg lost,
Eventually.
and he's a lot bigger than Asuka.
He didn't lose until after he won the United States Championship and the World Heavyweight
Yeah,
Championship.
Less
and it took a
talented than
cattle
Asuka,
prod.
but-
And yeah, a cattle prod from
Yeah.
Kevin Nash or Scott
It was
Hall
Scott Hall, and then he dropped the belt to Kevin Nash.
to Kevin Nash.
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin Nash was the
Is that the
first
finger poke of doom?
Yeah, somewhere in there as well. Yeah.
right around
Which
there.
is actually took place on my birthday. That was the same. A lot of people forget this, but the finger poke of doom actually took place on the same show that they gave out the results of Monday Night Raw, the one where Shivani infamously goes, "Well, that'll put butts in the seats," talking about Mankind winning the world title.
And
That
they
was
had the finger
January.
poke
That was
of doom.
January 4th. That was my birthday. That was the same episode that
How old were
Nitro, like 37. That was the same Nitro that they ran the finger poke of doom in the main event. So yeah. Little
Wow.
interesting fact there for you guys. Yeah, give me Nia Jax because I have just talked myself into this really cool narrative where Asuka comes up and murders Nia Jax on her first night,
So Nia
thus
Jax,
making
Emma.
Bliss.
yeah. And it's hard for me to go against, but I also do like what they've done with the Nia Jax Alexa Bliss story as well. Like I think it's not completely unwarranted just to make Asuka look good. I think there is a good story between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax as well. So there's more to it than just putting Asuka over inevitably.
All right. Let's talk about our IC Championship match. We have The Miz defending against Jason Jordan.
Can we talk about how great it is to see the Intercontinental Championship represented once again on a pay-per-view?
Finally, on a pay-per-view.
When is the last time it's been on a pay-per-view? I can't even remember.
It hasn't been a pre-show.
The last time I can genuinely remember it being defended on the pay-per-view
was it still on SmackDown?
No, it was
Rumble?
yeah, no, WrestleMania. It was on the pre-show between Baron Corbin and
No, it was already. Oh yeah,
no, it was Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose for the IC title on the pre-show of WrestleMania. It's been April since we've seen the Intercontinental
That may
Championship.
not be accurate, but
From what I can recall,
yeah, you don't have to look that up.
I'm going to,
It doesn't really matter that much.
but it does.
It does not. I think that Jason Jordan is going to win via disqualification, and The Miz retains his championship.
Yes. I'm 100% behind that.
So give me the finish while I'm looking up this stat.
Kicked right in the angle.
I'm thinking we have maybe interference from
Miz Taraj.
The Miz Taraj, or maybe it'll be a count out. Maybe The Miz gets counted out.
Maybe it wasn't on SummerSlam because he was in that pre-show
Six-man
tag.
Yeah, you're still looking up that. It doesn't matter.
I'm still looking. I have to know.
I'm just gonna say that Miz retains his belt, but
It
Jason
wasn't on-
Jordan wins by DQ. I don't know exactly.
It wasn't
how.
on Great Balls of Fire. Was it? Yeah, it was on Great Balls of Fire. It was Miz retained over Dean Ambrose in that goofy match where Dean Ambrose got disqualified or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, but that was so forgettable because nobody was invested in the Dean Ambrose Miz feud anyway, just because we had seen it for the better part of a year on the other show. So,
Give me Jason Jordan.
I like what you're saying there. I smell what you're stepping in.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take the Miz. I'm gonna take the Miz cleanish.
They gotta do something with Jason Jordan.
I'm going to take Miz.
Jason Jordan is not connecting to the crowd though.
They're trying.
It's not working.
Hopefully he turns heel and it comes out that he's not actually Ankle's son.
It was all like
He
a
used
scam
it
the whole
to try
time.
to get ahead. Like he demands. I think it would be really cool. He goes and demands like a championship match from Kurt. Like give me the Universal title match. Like I want it. Well,
he's constantly.
Well, I can't do that. Well, I'm
he
your
has
son.
used his position to get things done for himself to this
Right.
point. Like, oh, I want a match with Finn Balor, and I want a match with.
I want to prove that I'm good.
Right.
Give me a championship match. And Kurt's like, I don't know if you're ready. He's like, give it. Come on, you're my dad. Blah blah blah.
Wow.
And then he loses again. He gets frustrated, and then it comes out that he actually is not his son.
Not actually his son. Kurt Angle's actually revealed to be a virgin. Never actually. He's like, wait, I didn't even realize that. How can I have a kid?
Wait a minute. I've been
Wait a
sterile my
second.
whole life.
Wait a minute. That'd be kind of funny. I'd like that. Yeah, I don't know. Give me the Miz. Just because I don't know why. Just give me the Miz. I don't.
Miz is yours. We got a Miz here. What about you?
Miz. Clean.
3 Miz's and a Jason Jordan.
3 Miz's and a J. Sounds like a good
We all
time to
agree
me.
that the Miz will leave with the IC belt, though.
Yeah.
So
Yes. You'd be silly not to. That man, as much as this thing has been through some rough times as of late, that man has done nothing but make this belt one of my favorite parts of Raw.
all right. So we're gonna talk about the main event next. Juan Cena versus Roman Reigns, because you know what's going on last. Okay, you don't know.
Is
that.
it going?
No.
There's no way.
It might.
No.
You
don't
sure?
have Brock Lesnar come out
You
of
sure
his.
Vince doesn't want Roman on last?
You don't call the
John Cena, the guy that people are there to see?
You don't call the payphone that's down at the end of Brock Lesnar's driveway so that you can have him come out and be second fiddle
Wow.
to Roman Reigns in a pay-per-view in the middle of September. Like, yeah, sorry, dude. He's not really.
Okay.
Yeah. That being said, I do feel like this. Somebody said to me the other day that this match was going to suck. To which I immediately responded to them, do you know who's in this? Those two would have to try really, 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 really hard to have a bad match between the two of them. They're both two of the best wrestlers in the company today. Like, if nothing, John Cena proved his worth over the past year and a half with his fantastic match with AJ Styles and everybody else that he's been in the ring with. And then Roman Reigns has had some of the most... Him and AJ Styles as well had a couple of like really good matches about this time a year and a half ago. Not to mention his program with Braun Strowman has been infinitely one of the most entertaining parts of this past year. There's no way these two could have a bad match. You would have to try really hard.
A dumb stipulation?
Maybe.
Like a flag match?
Oh, my God.
He's got to do like the American Samoa flag.
What does the Samoan flag look like?
I want that to happen.
I don't know.
now.
No.
It's got a picture of Roman's face on it.
Ooh.
So is there any chance?
Nope.
No chance in hell.
Nope.
That John Cena's winning this match.
It's no chance, by the way.
No chance. If that's what you got.
You can't chant. No chanting. No chance in hell.
No chance in hell.
There's no way.
'Cause-
This match was designed to get Roman Reigns back to a point where he can start to kind of make his crawl
cocky
back.
about beating Undertaker. I beat John Cena.
He's making
I beat
his-
Brock Lesnar.
He's making his crawl back to the Universal title picture starting tonight.
I think he's been crawling back.
Yeah, but this is like his like next big foothold to claim number one contendership. He's still not going to get it till WrestleMania, but this is going to be his next big foothold. I do think you've talked a lot about this, Corey, with this whole it's going to be Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania. I don't necessarily know if that's the case here anymore, and we'll get to this a little bit with the next match. I think they've realized that they have a much hotter feud on their hand with Reigns and Strowman than Brock and Roman.
But
Like,
we've already seen it.
I don't
3
care.
months in a row. Not that it's not stale by any
No,
means,
I see.
but
That's
we
the
have
thing.
already seen it.
They probably won't touch each other again until WrestleMania, at least in my humble opinion. But when they do, I think that's the hotter match than Brock and Reigns.
We're not talking about little Brock and Strowman right now.
Anyway, so what are your feelings about this, guys?
John's going to film Bumblebee.
Jesus Christ.
What? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Michael Bay's new hit film.
When it comes down to it, the build on this match.
What is
you know,
2017?
It's a year.
I don't even.
It's a number.
I can't at
Be
this
a-
point.
the build on this match has been seamlessly perfect. Like they're at each other's throats.
Mhm.
I thought they would go at at least tease a touch on Monday.
Well, John wasn't even there. He was in
Right.
Hawaii or
Yeah,
Japan or
he was
something.
he was on an airplane, if I'm not mistaken.
But it's
See you in Hollywood. It's been rough because I feel like Cena has definitely gotten the upper hand as far as like promos and the build to this
Well,
match.
one of
He's
the
definitely
best-
better on the mic
Yeah.
than Roman, so it's easier for him.
But
He's what we like to call a seasoned veteran, though.
yeah.
Industry term, if you will.
I'm gonna take Roman Reigns.
Out on a date?
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah, I heard he's a really good,
He's,
drinker.
he's a good-looking dude, man.
He returns the favor.
He's
if you know what I mean.
he's a
He returns.
Kroger brand
favor.
Jason Momoa. Good lord.
I'm going Roman.
It's like when you tell your
Easily.
mom you want the Aquaman action figure and she brings back Roman Reigns. Like,
Oh.
yeah, there it is.
Yikes.
Khal Drogo.
I have a not so funny story about yesterday.
Hit me.
So before my diaper party, we had a baby shower for our family. My cousin just had a baby, and she named it Roman. And I was like,
That baby's
and
going places.
And the baby's like 3 months old. It's the first time I've seen him. And what did I ask? I asked her if he was named after the people who live in Rome. And she's like, no, he's actually named after Roman Reigns. And I'm like, you mean Roman Reigns? And she's like, yeah, Roman Reigns, the wrestler. And I'm like, wait, for real? She's like,
Dude.
no. But people ask me that all the time. I'm like, people ask you all the time if you named your baby after Roman Reigns?
Dude, that's actually super funny. I like that.
So,
But that actually plays.
but
to
she
this-
called him Roman Reigns at first. I was like, that's so funny.
But still, though, like, but that plays perfectly into this like narrative of like where I'm telling people like, listen, stop being mad at the fact that they're doing with Roman Reigns what they want to do with Roman Reigns. I've stopped caring about what. Oh no, they're pushing Roman Reigns. Nobody likes Roman Reigns. Nobody wants him in the title picture.
Roman Reigns.
Just shut up and enjoy the show. Sit back and just because they're gonna do what they want to do regardless with him.
Yeah.
So the second you divorce yourself from this whole narrative of like, well, Roman doesn't deserve this push, he just sit back and enjoy, because you'll enjoy it a lot more than you would if you sit there and complain about what they're doing with Roman Reigns. It's insane, and he's over. He's over like Rover. If you have random people that you didn't even know like wrestling telling you jokingly that they named their kid after Roman Reigns, they've obviously got to be doing something right.
Is.
And listen, if you ever get a chance, when WWE, they post videos from their house show circuits that they do. They'll post like crowd reactions to when these guys come out, just for house shows, not for televised events, but for house shows.
Like on Instagram.
People are cheering Roman Reigns at house shows. He is over with the casual demographic. And I hate to say you, but when I told you earlier that for every one Corey, there's 10 people who buy an Enzo Amore shirt. For every one Corey, or
I would buy a Roman Reigns shirt.
For every one
so
person that boos Roman Reigns, there's 10 people who buy tickets and buy their kids' T-shirts and buy their kids Roman Reigns T-shirts at the shows with their wallets out, you know, telling them exactly like, hey, keep doing what you're doing with Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. Sorry, dude. It's the cold hard truth. If you are listening to this and you're typing right now, you know, oh, Roman Reigns is the worst. He's pushed down our throats. Like, it's a TV show. Get over it.
Bet they still watch though.
Yeah, every week. You know, people come. That WWE is like the craziest thing where people just like, oh, I hate everything that they're doing. They're making such bad decisions. See you next week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if it's that bad, tune out. If not, just sit here and just enjoy it like the rest of us. I'm very ranty today.
Does anyone think that John Cena's going to win before we move on to our main
Roman
events?
Reigns wins this match.
Roman?
Yeah.
Roman.
Yes.
All
It's
right.
going to be a fantastic match. It's going to probably be, I would say, upwards of 15 to 20 minutes of them just taking the absolute piss out of each other. And much like AJ Styles and John Cena, I would not be surprised if this stayed in the ring the entire time. It was just a true battle between these two.
I hope they go 30.
I would love it.
I hope they go 30.
I think those
Looking at this card, it's very potential to go 30.
I think Braun and Brock will be a squash.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Well, let's wrap this up because I really want to get into this. Okay. So let's start with Brock
You need to stop bringing
Lesnar
that.
and Braun Strowman. Alex Jordan.
Well,
I want to hear this.
look at the last matches.
Into the mic if you could, please.
Look at all of the last matches that Brock has had with Randy, with Cena back in, was it Royal Rumble?
No, it was SummerSlam 15. The one where he like suplexed the bejesus out of him.
Yeah.
it was
Look at all
SummerSlam.
these. I mean, I think it's going to be completely different. I don't think Brock's getting squashed. I think Brock's getting squashed.
You think Braun's going to
I
come
think
in there?
Braun's going to destroy it.
Okay, that makes a little more sense than the other way around, I think.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't coming here
Because
thinking that Brock
Joe
gonna suplex
surprised
him.
us. When Joe had his
yeah.
match, he destroyed Brock at first, really did a ton of damage, and Brock was like surprised.
I think Goldberg and that whole angle showed the first, because when Brock came back, he was eating John Cena's and shitting out remains. And I think that started this whole narrative of like, and then they fed him the Undertaker streak. So this built him into this whole like undestroyable monster. And then he murdered Randy Orton at SummerSlam. And then Goldberg comes back. And then it shows that there is a chink in the armor of Brock Lesnar. Like, he's not completely undefeatable. And then Samoa Joe comes in and shows you, like, if you really are intense and take the fight to him right off the rip, you can do it. You can do it. And I think this might...
even Braun has manhandled Lesnar.
And I think this is the point
sold
where
those German suplexes?
Yep.
This is where you fully pull the trigger and say that he is not only not indestructible, but he is also can be beaten by somebody who is pure brutality, and that is Braun Strowman.
If Brock stomps out Braun, I will no longer know what to think anymore about WWE.
You taking Strowman?
I'm taking Strowman.
Give me Strowman. Yes.
So I'm gonna take this back to
I'm
the
taking
last.
Brock just so you guys feel humble.
You, as the contrarian that you are, I would expect nothing less.
Cease
Brock's
and
not losing that
desist.
belt till
Remember
WrestleMania.
the last show we did? We did predictions, that Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
I said Brock would win,
Yep.
and they're gonna feed him to Strowman.
Uh-huh.
This is it.
This is it.
This is it.
Not to mention
4 months in advance.
fall is really... I was talking to Ajax the other day about this. We were talking about how fall time, that time between SummerSlam and Survivor Series is really just kind of like a dead area in terms of like booking. Like everything's in like a holding pattern until we get to Survivor Series and really kind of start to build up these feuds and storylines that are going to fuel us through Royal Rumble and then to a greater extent WrestleMania. I think something like this, like an absolute shock, like what Alex is talking about, where we have a squash in the opposite direction of what I think the casual fans would be thinking, is just the kind of spark that WWE needs to keep that fan interest going into Survivor Series. And you can drag out the feud and get the rubber match at Survivor Series and get more people invested. I'm here for it.
Here's what I think happens.
Here we go.
Braun looks awesome. He's really bringing it to Lesnar. Lesnar looks beaten. What are you doing?
I accidentally put our show on Facebook, and because I wanted to read some of the comments, but I'm listening.
Kalen said Reigns winning is the easiest call of the card.
I don't very frequently agree with Louis Perez, but he does have a good point when he says the Giants are garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, they still went 0 Giants last year, so I'm holding on to that.
The Washington Redskins are garbage. And no, you are too.
Isn't he a Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. We need a Redskins fan, so that way we can just complete
like
the
the
trifecta.
Redskins.
Or the
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you are like a
That's
casual
my NFC,
it's your
NFC team.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, so Braun brings it to Lesnar, breaks him down like the whole first half of the match. Lesnar starts to come back. I think the match will end with an F5 that Braun actually gets up from after he gets the first F5. Brock hits a second F5. Braun still he's not out. He's still getting up. And then Brock hits him with a third F5 and then
Three
pins him
F5s
in a row.
Wow.
But Braun gets up from the first one. He kind of sits up for the second one. And
Staggers
then
around.
the third one, he's done.
I think
It makes Braun look like an insane beast. Brock keeps the belt until WrestleMania 34, which is the plan. He's facing Roman Reigns, and that's where he's going to lose that belt. And that's the last time you see Brock, maybe in a wrestling capacity forever. Who knows?
People complain about Vince McMahon being out of touch all the time. I don't think he's so out of touch, though, that he doesn't realize that with Braun Strowman, he has an actual opportunity at a verifiable, homegrown gold mine.
Why not get the most out of Brock while he's still here, and then Braun still has 10 years of wrestling?
I don't think this is hyperbole to say this, but I think tonight, if they put Braun Strowman over Brock Lesnar, clean as a whistle, and usher in this era of Braun Strowman as your top guy, it's going to be looked at in the history books the same way that we look back at Austin Hart at WrestleMania, 13? Mm-hmm. At WrestleMania 13 with the double turn. Like, that was the moment that solidified Stone Cold Steve Austin as the face of that era. Or we look back at WrestleMania 21 when John Cena beat, no.
That's what the moment at WrestleMania is. When Roman beats Brock, that's the moment you're talking about. It's not for Braun, it's for Roman.
You need to establish multiple guys like that at the top of your card, though.
I agree.
So this right now establishes Braun as one of those faces going forward. Because if you look back, there was moments where, in the Attitude Era, they established Austin as one of the guys. And then when The Rock comes out and turns on the Nation of Domination and goes solo and turns heel, that is an example of him establishing himself as one of those top guys. So you have that opportunity to do both of those with both of these guys. You put Braun Strowman over tonight, you're going to make Braun Strowman a star for the next 10 years.
You could.
If you put Roman Reigns over Braun Strowman at Mania, or they put on a hell of a match at least at WrestleMania, both of those guys are your top guys for the next 10 years. You have an opportunity here with both of these guys to make mega stars that are going to do nothing but print money and sell t-shirts. And I am super here for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just, dude, this is one of those moments where
it's going to happen at WrestleMania.
This is one of those moments. See, that's the thing.
That's the
Everybody
moment.
talks about how these big moments
The
have
moment's
to
not going
happen
to be
at
at No
WrestleMania.
Mercy 2017. It's not going to be where the moment is.
You never know, man.
WrestleMania moments. Royal Rumble moments, maybe. No, there's no such thing as No Mercy 2017 moments.
I agree with you to a certain degree that I think you want to save big moments for your big shows, but every once in a while you have to have a situation where something unexpected happens to make a star.
AJ Styles winning the United States title at a house show at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, caught everybody off guard.
Samoa Joe beating Finn Balor for the NXT title at a house show.
Yeah, and there's been, was it Battleground last year? It was like a pay-per-view where I can't even remember what happened, but there's constantly these little surprises that keep us entertained and keep us interested in the story and keep us, invested. This is one of those moments where they have this is like the peak of that whole narrative.
Okay.
I think they would be foolish not to. is what I'm saying.
I would love for Braun to leave the champion tonight. But
I think it's going to happen.
what I just presented to you with the 3 F5s, I think is better for both men.
Let me ask you a question.
Because what's Brock going to do after he loses to Braun Strowman?
Who's
Go
the
back
W?
to
Who's the
UFC.
W? Who's
What's
the
he gonna do?
Who's the WWE? He
They're
doesn't care.
they're paying him like $1 billion to
He-
be there. Not going to let
he-
him sit at home for the rest of his
He
contract.
doesn't care.
Who they're paying him.
That's fine. That's
They're
fine.
paying him to be the Universal Champion for a year.
That's fine.
That's not fine because you're telling me that that's not going to happen anymore
Well,
and that
he's
he's
got-
going to be
Yeah,
I'm
out.
not saying he can't win it back.
If he's got 8 to 12,
Why have him lose it and then win it back? How's that make Braun look good?
Because that's exactly what it does. It
The
makes
fact
him
that it
look
took
good.
3 F5s makes him look immortal.
I know, because that sends a message clear and cut to everybody watching that, yeah, we want Braun to look like he can go, but we're not quite ready to pull the trigger. This is one of those moments in
The
history.
fans already love him. So what are they pulling the trigger on? He's the most behind guy of anyone on that show.
You have to pull the trigger.
You don't
here.
need the belt on him
I think
for the
you-
fans to like him.
I think you pull the trigger here.
Do you like Braun Strowman?
I love Braun Strowman, and I would
And
love him
and
even
he's never
more.
held a belt in his life.
And I would love him even more if he were to hold the title, because that would signify to me and everybody paying attention that
they're behind him.
this is the man.
That's not how
Braun
that's not how
Strowman
they run things there,
is
sir.
the man,
Okay.
and this is it's gonna.
We're
happen.
gonna talk about this tomorrow night at Monday Night Raw at the Beer Stube from 8 until 11 p.m.
Are we
tomorrow.
are we ready to plug everything for? Are we done with this? Oh, so Braun.
Braun.
Brock?
This is it, man. This is the time to do it.
Nope.
Joe, who do you take in this one? The fans?
The fans.
There you go.
What if Heyman switches to Braun as his new
Can we-
client?
Ladies and gentlemen,
My name.
new client.
My name. Got to get that New York Jew
he's
in there a little bit.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I'm excited for tonight's show. I'm excited to have all of Travis's picks that are different than mine be incorrect.
Be wrong. What are you doing tonight for the show, Corey? You gonna?
I think I'm gonna be moving shit. So I don't know.
You guys have like a lot of. You guys should have seen the turnout yesterday for this diaper party. My God, they got a truckload of stuff.
We're not talking about my personal life like that, bro.
Unreal.
I'm not gonna do with all those diapers though.
It's a lot of diapers.
Maybe I can start wearing them.
That's what I
Save me some
suggested
time.
last night, but I think you were a little too inebriated to pick up on that.
I don't know.
Couple Budweisers, couple Corey Weisers. last night.
Budweisers for my buds.
So we got some stuff coming up, guys. We have tomorrow night. If you guys are in the greater Toledo area and you are listening to Audio Suplex Live right now, make sure you guys join us at the Beer Stube at, what's the address again, Corey?
5333 Monroe Street, Toledo, Ohio. I don't know the
43623, I believe it would be.
Something.
Make sure.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby
Plaza.
Plaza.
Yep. Make sure you guys are there tomorrow night. We will be having Monday Night Raw on multiple screens. Corey
The
and
audio
I.
will be playing in the bar. If you want to watch the football game, that will also be
Yes.
on the TV, so you can do double
What's tomorrow
duty.
night's game? I can't remember.
Football
Yeah.
and Monday night football.
There will be a we'll have real sports on with Raw, and then you'll have the fake sports on.
Predetermined football.
Predetermined football. Guys, NFL is a work, guys. You guys
Food specials, free bacon added to any menu item. So
Yes.
if you can order French fries and get bacon added, you can do burger, pizza, or whatever. The free bacon.
you know what excites me? $2 Labatt's.
$2
all
Labatt's.
night long, baby. You guys can see Travis getting nice and toasty.
$5 beer flights, so you can
Yes.
get if you don't know what a flight is, it's like a sampler of a bunch of different beers, which the Beer Stube has over 60 beers on
Can you
tap.
pick which beers
Any
you have? for
beers
that?
you want, yeah. So if
Really?
you're like, I want to try this one, and this one, that's a great way to do it Monday
Yeah,
night.
that's actually a really good
You
idea.
can taste a whole bunch for $5, which one of those beers would be $5. This way you get four beers.
But
for
we're
$5.
burying the lead here. We have wrestling trivia as well, and prizes for those who do well
Prizes.
in wrestling trivia.
Last week, we
Third,
get third place over here.
Third place.
First place was $30, second place is $20, and third place is $10.
absolutely. Shouts out to Justin, listener of the show
Yep.
and friend of the show, who came out and had a good time. Won first place. Is a
He was very knowledgeable. so
wrestling
we're gonna have to,
encyclopedia.
we'll have to
Yeah, I mean,
mix
by
up our
2 points.
questions.
Yeah, it was. A
That was
close game.
upsetting.
Yeah.
Well, you had a bad start too. Your
Oh,
first couple
yeah.
rounds, you were just not. You're not in the
eight-
game, and then you focused. And
I went brain dead at the beginning, but when the entrance music started popping, and
Yeah.
then you started going into more, up to date stuff.
Right.
It was on.
So we're gonna start trivia at 9. From 9 till 10, we'll be doing trivia. So the middle block of Monday Night Raw
Yep.
is when we'll do.
10:30.
9 till 10.
9 till 10.
9
Yeah.
till 10, 9 to 10:30. It depends on how many questions we get in.
I'm hoping it doesn't go that long because honestly, I love hosting trivia and I think that's really fun. It's hard for me to pay attention to
Raw.
the show
Yeah.
while I'm hosting trivia
Yeah.
and keeping score and all that stuff. So,
But we'll have a little bit different setup this time. I think Corey and I were talking about we'll set ourselves up at the stage there, so you guys can just bring the trivia questions to there, and then him and I can both host from up there. So
Correct.
It's like an episode of Audio Suplex Live, but with us watching Raw and us roasting, WWE as we go along. So we got that coming up tomorrow night, and then like I said, hopefully continuing. I don't know if this is going to become a weekly.
I mean,
affair,
if you guys keep coming out, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Shot specials tomorrow as well, wrestling themed shots.
Yes,
So if you're
yes.
into shots,
yes.
It's fun. Come out, guys. It's fun to interact with everybody. It's
the
good
NOW
fun.
guys show up.
Yeah.
So if you want to meet some of them, talk to them. You can talk to us too. We'll talk about wrestling.
Don't
with you.
talk to me.
Don't talk to Travis.
Yeah, don't talk to me.
Which
He sits
realistically,
at my table.
realistically, Travis is the more likely to talk to you than I will. I'll actually be the guy to be like, "Don't talk to me."
Yeah,
I'm saying talk to us, but really,
Heel Corey.
I don't-
Living up to the name.
I don't really like talking to people I don't know necessarily
Living the gimmick. So.
until I meet you.
So we got that coming up tomorrow night, and like I said, going forward, if that is a successful turnout, we will be doing that going forward, and it's fun. Like honestly, one of my favorite things about wrestling, we have a tight knit group of friends that watches wrestling, as I'm sure you guys do as well. I just love getting together with the friends and just watching wrestling. And what better environment to do it than a bar? You have trivia to keep you
There's
entertained.
food, a full menu.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, pre-popcorn.
So that's what we got coming up next week. We'll cook something up for a good episode of Audio Suplex Live. We haven't quite decided what it's going to be. Oh, no, wait. I believe next week we're trying to get a special guest onto the show. So
The one that we talked to on Wednesday.
maybe a certain one half of the NOW Tag Team Champions that we haven't had on the show quite yet. We still got to get in touch with this individual and make sure that we're still on for that. I don't want to put it in stone yet, but.
Oh, yeah.
That's the tentative plan, but we'll see. We'll see what comes up.
Talk about the next upcoming NOW
Yeah.
show,
Which
the
is
anniversary show.
3 weeks out from the October 14th anniversary
Glass
show.
City Havoc 3, the 2-year anniversary show. And guys, we've been here for 2 years.
This is crazy.
Unbelievable.
I've been going back and looking at some like the old show flyers from some of the older NOW shows,
Yeah.
about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and just the amount of progress that NOW has made in the past 2 years is absolutely just dumbfounding. Like it's insane.
It's fun to sit back and watch the evolution unfold. Like going back watching the older stuff and
Homegrown stars like our own Alex Jordan here, who have really
Yeah.
kind of carved in the niche out for themselves, a real pocket in NOW. So.
we were actually talking about that because a year ago today we did the NOW's training school combine.
Saw that. I saw you guys
yeah.
post about that on
The
Facebook.
10 people showed up to compete for 2 contracts. One got first place got the free contract.
And not a single person stayed.
Yeah, and
Hey,
not,
man.
not one of those 10 people still here. Who it a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then
Yeah.
like now we're actually talking about getting a place to let us set the ring up and
Train and
compete and do another competition. So if
That
you're
would be
interested in
sweet.
becoming a professional wrestler, contact me on Facebook, Robert L. Lopez,
yes, sir.
or message the Northwest Ohio Wrestling page. It'll get directly to me.
And then maybe one day you can be on the receiving end of a kick to the back of the head by Alex Jordan, and then you could stare at the lights for 3 seconds while he picks up another W.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really giving them a bright future.
Hey, man.
but
hey, if you told me, like, hey, you have the chance to put Alex Jordan over one day, in a heartbeat.
Travis, guess what?
Yeah.
It wouldn't do him that much good.
Yeah, it's
Beating
not
you. He
like
wouldn't be
beating
putting
me
him
would
over.
give you a lot of prestige.
If
or
anything, they'd feel bad that you got beat
like,
up.
like
Poor
Elias Sampson
defenseless
going over
Travis.
Apollo Crews here, except I can't do a backflip, nor am I charismatic.
I can't backflip either. So.
but some matches for the anniversary show.
Yes.
We got some stuff confirmed.
Is this aside from the major main event? Which
We'll go over those real quick.
All
if
right,
that's
let's do it.
all
Let's
right.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're gonna kick off the show. Cruiserweight title match.
Unique
Alex
Cruiserweight-
Weir.
Alex Weir.
Brand new champion.
Yep, defends against Jonte Keith and Gavin Glass in a triple threat.
Ooh, the return of Gavin Glass to NOW.
Yep.
I like it.
Match number 2, we got Avarice Gloom taking on Big Mama.
Fantastic.
So I'm looking forward, more women wrestling coming from Northwest Ohio Wrestling.
She
Shouts
was
out to
on the
Avarice.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Match number 3, we got the Chris Chambers Open Invitational.
Okay. I like it.
Are non-wrestlers eligible?
Non-wrestlers are not eligible.
Oh, dang it.
Well, damn. We're going to be busy anyway.
I'm not gonna be
so
busy.
we'll see who answers that call.
Okay.
We got number 4 is the Uprising Championship, last man
yes.
standing.
This is going to be
Cassidy Keith versus Alan Graves.
It's going to be a brutal affair.
Oh yeah,
Last man standing.
let him go. It's the only way we can find out who the best big man in NOW is.
Take the reins off him and just let him.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
they had a count out last time, so they
Yes.
didn't. So this one, there's no count out, so we'll definitely have a definitive winner.
Yep.
Yes.
Your co-main event of the evening is a 5-way now.
Yes.
For the NOW Heavyweight Championship. Colt Daniels defends against Jack Price, Alex Jordan,
Who?
Never heard of him.
the notorious
Notorious
Alex
one.
Jordan.
I am Toledo Wrestling.
He really is.
Terrell Kenneth,
Oh, God, I love Charles Kenneth.
and
That's
Jory Jacobs.
Listen, Alex, you're my guy. I'm an Alex Jordan guy.
Okay.
But Terrell Kenneth.
I powerbombed his ass off a ladder,
That's
This is-
true.
He's right.
and I double stomped Louis Perez through a ladder.
I'm a big
we were
fan
there.
of Jack
Yeah.
Price
Yeah.
myself.
I beat him.
I'm sure you have. But
He has.
he is going to beat Colt Daniels. No, I'm just,
Let me tell you who my number one contender is.
Well, yeah, I mean,
looking
he's
right at
definitely proven he can beat the champion.
Just be ready for some shock factors.
Let the history books show that I put
Cattle
my
prod?
chips in the right horse's race.
And then, on top of that match, you got the main event.
My
Now,
boys.
this one's been built for a while, and
Yes, sir.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if the kids can pull it off, or then
Listen,
the villains take it back, and
we've had Eric Emanon on the show.
Yep.
We've had the Natural Aces on the show. Fantastic episode from both of those guys. And we're fans of both teams across the board.
Me too.
But this one has been building for quite some time. I am personally ready to see these two teams just tear each other limb from limb, and all for the NOW gold.
Yeah, IndyCard Mafia, the NOW Tag Team Champions, defend against the Natural Aces in a ladder match.
And if you guys were at the Uprising show in Rossford, Ohio, you remember very well that the Natural Aces are gunning. It's more than just titles at this point. It's personal.
Oh yeah,
It's insane. I can't wait.
like they stomped them
Oh,
into
yeah.
the mat.
Oh, trust
Like,
me. If you follow Eric Emanon on Instagram, he has been spamming our
has been,
video
yeah.
of Uprising to no end, and rightfully so. They expressed dominance in that match, in both of those matches. Like, we're in for a hell of a battle.
Yeah, and then that's just the anniversary show. We got October 28th. We got the Halloween special at the Believe Center.
If you want to see me dressed as Kevin Owens, make sure you guys come
Yeah,
out.
it's
I'll be signing autographs.
We're gonna be doing adult, 18 and up. They got a $50 Walmart gift card to best costume,
Excellent,
judged by some of the NOW talent.
excellent.
Kids got a $20 Walmart gift card for their best costume.
Which you can use to buy a Braun Strowman action figure.
There it is. And then
Smart move.
the NOW talent will be judged by Audio Suplex Live for best costume.
What?
And then
You hear that, partner?
Yeah.
We're in there.
so that's October 28th at the Believe Center. If you come dressed up in a costume, your ticket's only $5.
Delightful.
Kids would be $2.
Fantastic. You guys, listen. If you're in the greater Toledo area, and
I'm sure there'll be candy.
Oh yeah,
Okay, good.
I hear this
I'm in.
from friends of mine all the time. People bemoaning that there are not cool things to do in Toledo. Get your ass out to an NOW show. Come out and see homegrown talent that is here in our own city that is absolutely killing it. I mean, we've said this amongst ourselves many times. The product is getting exponentially better. We had a fantastic ladder match a couple months ago to determine who gets the Fight for Fortune briefcase. Change the landscape. Then you follow that up a month later with a hellacious
Glass City Street
Glass City street fight between this man right here and Colt Daniels. It just keeps getting better and better. And now we have the tag division, and the tag team title feud right now is crazier than it's ever been.
you never know what you're gonna get at a NOW
Yes.
event.
make sure you guys are out. Make sure you guys come out and support your local wrestling. Support your local wrestling podcast. Come out to Monday Night Raw at the Beer Stoop tomorrow night.
Definitely do that.
Yeah, but definitely do all of that.
Do all of it.
Be invested and be involved in your local
Let's
wrestling
do one at a time.
community.
So the next thing is tomorrow, and then come out
Yes.
Tuesday as well, and Wednesday.
Yes, we won't have $2 Labats, but we will have a really good time. So
There's $2 bats every night after 7.
shut up. Really?
I think, except for on the weekends.
Huh. Anyway, so yeah. So I think that plugs everything that we need to plug going forward. Make sure you guys are checking us out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and everything at Audio Suplex Live. You guys can follow Northwest Ohio Wrestling at 419 Wrestling on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah. Any closing words from you guys?
No, I just want to thank you guys for allowing us on Audio Suplex Live. You
Anytime,
guys
guys.
are get this show done professionally, and the work that you guys have put in for NOW and our partnership. And I'm very proud to have you guys a part of our team and family.
It's been a fruitful relationship since the beginning, and I can't wait to see where it goes going forward. So without any further ado, you guys probably want to get to some football and get ready for No Mercy tonight. We will catch you here next week and tomorrow night at the Beer Stoop. For me, Heel Corey, Joe, Alex, JJ, we will see you guys later.
Go Miz.
Hey, this is Joe, producer of Audio Suplex Live. We'd like to give a shout out to the band Wax for intro and outro music. Make sure you check them out at the link below.
You've been listening to the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.